Hello everyone, it is Susan here from Susan Hiles Art and welcome to my channel. So today I'm working on the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 3 and it is geared around vegetables. So I did a lot of thinking because this is not in my wheelhouse at all. I don't think I've ever, well, I know I've never stitched a vegetable before. So I'm like, well, what the heck am I going to do? So I was just kind of making up my own things. I did do a little test on here. It came out looking for a carrot, but it came out looking more like a red corn on the cob. So yeah, so I'm like, well, that didn't work, but I persevered. And what my plan is this. Okay, so I have these little things and hopefully they look like cauliflower. And what I did was I took a cotton ball and I cut it up into fours. I took the green fabric and I cut out some small circles, thinking that that was going to be like the green leaves that kind of, go around a cauliflower head. And I put the cotton on the inside and then I stitched on top of the cotton to give it that more of like a bunchy look. You know how cauliflower is bunches of pieces, right? So and I and I wasn't sure if I liked it, and I just let it sit here for a few days, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go with it because I don't think I'll come up with anything different, but I think I'm just gonna use these two. And I also did some carrots, so I'm gonna do a carrot with you today. And then next week we're gonna come on Wednesday and we're gonna make a tomato. And I have this fabric out ready to use for that. And I have an idea in my head. It's gonna look like a tomato and or an apple, I'm sure. But in my head, it's going to be a tomato. And my thought process on this. So let me tell you how I ended up with this little piece of fabric. I was just practicing on it, right? This was in my little scrap bin, and which I guess seems to be growing. But yeah, so I grabbed this out and I did a carrot because I really didn't know how to make it look like a carrot. Honestly, without I don't like to satin stitch, so that isn't to me even an option, because I don't like that stitch. But like I said, so I tried this and it looks like a red corn on the cob. I'm like, no. So this one, well, I'm going to show you how I did it. This was my first one. This was my second one. They're the same, except I used, this has pearl thread in size 8 that I used to stitch over the orange, and this is more of a yarn, but I like the pearl thread, so that's what I'm going to use. And it's kind of almost in like a salmon-y color, but it just kind of works somehow. So I'm going to zoom in and yeah, so let me show you. Now, well, let me explain first. This is, so I'm not making a garden. This is going to be my table of harvest, right? So when you harvest your vegetables, you put them on a table and you clean them or whatever you do with them, right? So that's what this is going to be, is a table with my harvest of my vegetables. And then I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put it on here, but I'm going to just sew this onto my snippet roll. So that is my thought process. And so knowing that I have these two cauliflowers. I'm thinking maybe I'll put a carrot over here because I think that that's like a good little composition for this little table of veggies. And then we can come in and put, you know, 3 or 4 little red tomatoes around. And then that's going to be it. Yeah. Let's give this a try. Let me move my cauliflower. They're kind of weird looking, but I think they're cute. They get the job done. So let me share this with you. All I did was, and again, I'm just thinking in my head, well, how do you make a carrot, right? So the shape of a carrot, obviously, is going to be pointier at one end than the other. So all I did was, and this is like a double yarn, so it's fairly thick. And then what I do is I come back in it in the same hole down here, but up top here I'm going to spread the stitches out just a little bit. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put a stitch over here like that. And I know it looks nothing like a carrot right now, but that's okay. And then the last one, I'm going to still go in from the same little spot in the bottom. Now, the last stitch I'm going to put in the middle of the 2 that I did up top here. So on the bottom, where the point is going to be, I did all the stitches out of the same hole, but up top I widened them out. All right, so I have this little shape, which right now does not look like these, right? It doesn't look like a carrot, but with using the purl thread, that's what I'm going to use to shape it. So the first thing that I want to do, kind of like couching, well, not kind of, it actually is couching. So the first thing I want to do is make sure that the bottom of my carrot is pointy, right? I want it to look like it has a point on it because carrots are pointy on the bottom. And so I'm just gonna, like, I'm not couching yet. I just want to get that point down there. So I'm just making just a couple stitches on both sides at the bottom to give it a little bit of a point. Okay, so that's it. Just a little something to give it a point. Now, I want to try to squeeze this yarn together and just a little bit, because on the bottom here, and I want to do these stitches fairly close together. This is where the couching begins. So on the bottom, I need the carrot to be thinner. And then as we go up, it will get wider. And you do that, well, partially because of the way I put that orange yarn, but it's also by how much you pull this thread that either makes it, you know, wider or not wider. So you really get to decide what the carrot actually looks like. Okay, so that's the carrot. Now, it doesn't look like a carrot yet, but it will get better. We're going to put the greenery, the leaves, up on the top of it. So let me show you that. Okay, I take my yarn and I'm going to put 4 stitches. Let me show you. 4 stitches up on the top. Okay, so I put 1 extra stitch going across up here, but I have the 4 stitches going up. I couldn't go up too high, like I couldn't make them too long because I'm at the end of the fabric. But I think that that looks good. And you know what? I can look at that and I can know that that is a carrot. That is my goal here. Oh, I want to mention that I have a one-day open collaboration with Carol from Recrafted by Carol. If you're interested, I'll link the video below. But on Saturday, February 18th, it's a sewing collaboration. Everybody's invited to join, so you can make a YouTube video, you can post on Instagram, or you can just do it. And it's about sewing a heart using fabric, something with a heart, or make a heart, and stitch. Those are the prompts. So watch the announcement video below and hopefully you can join us. We would love to have you. So that's it for today. So thank you to Rachel and Sarah for their awesome prompts. I mean, I would have never in a million years done this myself. So I like that it challenges me and makes me think outside the box. And how can I accomplish the challenge that they've given us? So thanks so much for being here today and watching my video. And I will see you next Wednesday where we're going to sow some tomatoes. Okay, thanks so much. God bless. Bye-bye.